Reds coming into town, not playing good baseball, and they're overdue. They have Pete Rose in that ball club as the manager and a player, and he'll get them going, hopefully not here in New York. They have Dave Parker, who almost won the Triple Crown last year. Mario Soto, a good pitcher, is not having a good year. So you're always worried about a team turning it around on a given night and a given series.
You sound very negative.
Do I? It's been a tough day.
Okay. Well, on a positive note, let's go down to Tim McCarver and his special guest.
All right, thanks a lot, Ralph. Back on May 6, 1983, Darryl Strawberry's first appearance in a New York Mets uniform. His first pitcher that he faced, Mario Soto. Well, he struck him out 3 times that night, but since then, Darryl is 9 for 22 with 5 home runs and a ton of RBIs. So I guess you could say that since May 6, 83, it's been payback time.
Well, yeah, it's been kind of payback. I've been kind of pleased with the way I performed against Soto. Soto was the first pitcher I faced in my career, and that night was a night to remember. And when you go against a guy like Mario Soto, coming up as a rookie player, they try to intimidate rookies, and at the time, he intimidated me a little bit. But since then, I've built my confidence, and I look forward to facing the guy that struck me out 3 times.
Well, since then, Darryl, have you read any of his pitches? Do you sit on one particular pitch, a fastball or a changeup?
Well, I don't really sit on any particular pitch, Timmy. I look for location. He's trying to spot location on me, and I think that's the key to any hitter. When you know a pitcher that you're hitting well against, you look for the location where you think he's going to put the ball. And I've been real good at that facing Soto since I came up, because, like I said, when I did face him the first time, I didn't have an idea on the location where he would throw the changeup or the fastball. But now I got a real good idea, and I'm really excited about the way things have turned around.
It's interesting that Darryl Strawberry talking about location, because presently the Mets are located in the #1 hole in the National League East with the best record in baseball, 18-4. We'll see how they perform tonight against Mario Soto right after this commercial message.
What are you going to do tonight? Take the reins and head to the nation's greatest simulcast center, the Big M. The Meadowlands Racetrack hosts exciting live thoroughbred action every Tuesday through Saturday starting at 7:30, plus simulcasting action from around the world 7 days a week with up to a dozen different racetracks beginning at noon. Come watch Southern California's premier racehorses slugging it out at Santa Anita, Kentucky's finest charge down that famed Churchill Downs Strip, and the best in the Midwest blow through Chicago's Hawthorne Racecourse. There's also top-notch harness action from Freehold, Garden State, Pompano, and more. And this Friday night at 12:30 a.m., we'll take you to the Far East for racing from Hong Kong. With 1,300 television monitors throughout the building, you won't miss a thing. Admission's only $1, and parking, as always, is free. For information or reservations, call 201-THE-BIG-M or visit our site on the internet. What are you going to do tonight? Experience the best horse racing from around the world at the Big M.
While the Mets are taking the field, they have seen their lead cut to 4.5 games over Montreal. Montreal defeating the Dodgers by a score of 8-4. Valenzuela, the losing pitcher in that ball game, and Reardon, the winning pitcher in the game. And some strong hitting by Hubie Brooks as he continues to pound the baseball. So if Ojeda can hold on here tonight and pick up a victory, the Mets will be 5 games up in Montreal. Ojeda with a record of 4-0, an earned run average of 1.59. In 28 1/3 innings, he has given up just 23 hits. He has struck out 10, and he has walked 6. And Ojeda, going for the Mets, has a record of 1-0 against the Reds in his major league career.
And for the Cincinnati Reds, leading off, Tracy Jones, the left fielder, Dave Concepcion, the shortstop, batting #2. In right field, Dave Parker, batting #3. Batting in the cleanup slot, Tony Perez, the first baseman. Third baseman, Buddy Bell, batting #5. Eric Davis batting 6th in center field. Batting 7th and doing the catching, Bo Diaz. Ron Oster playing second base and batting 8th. And batting 9th, Mario Soto, the pitcher.
And the defense for the Mets, Hernandez at first, Tuffle at second base, Johnson playing shortstop, and Knight at third. Heath, Dykstra, and Strawberry in the outfield left to right, and the catcher will be Gary Carter. Umpires for this game, Harry Windelstadt behind home plate, Dana DeMuth, the umpire at first base, Jerry Crawford, the umpire at second base, and Greg Bonin, the umpire at third. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Mets and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Mets and Sportschannel is prohibited. Announcers on this telecast were selected by Sportschannel and approved by the Mets. Well, the Mets have faced the Reds 3 times this year, and the Mets have won all 3 ball games, sweeping the series in Cincinnati. And the Reds playing for the first time here at Shea Stadium, and the leadoff batter, Tracy Jones, stepping in. Jones so far hitting .314 with no home runs and 3 runs batted in. The #1 choice in the country in a draft, highly regarded. He's 0 for 4 against the Mets so far this year. Last year, playing at Denver, he batted .337 with a total of 10 home runs and 31 runs batted in 51 ball games. And the first pitch, a called strike.
This kid can fly also.
Tracy Jones. And a little off-speed turnover. And it's strike 2. Not quite a screwball, but it's like a screwball.
Interesting as you look at Mario Soto warming up, the starting pitcher in tonight's game for the Reds. Watching Tracy Jones, you watch where he starts off with his hands, but he brings his hands back in the hitting position when he starts forward.
And strike 3. Right down Broadway. 3 pitches and a strikeout.
Well, looking at a crafty left-hander, Bobby Ojeda learned to pitch in Boston, brought it to New York, and he's been tough on National League hitters so far this year.
So Jones back to the bench without a swing, and the batter will be Dave Concepcion. Concepcion hitting .228 so far this year with 2 home runs and 9 runs batted in. Looking for a home run to get to a career total of 100. Against the Mets, he's 4 for 12 this year. And he fouls off a fastball.
Came up at 19 years old, Davey Concepcion, the last Gold Glove winner on the Cincinnati Reds. He won that Gold Glove in 1979.
Lifetime against the Mets, .273 with 12 home runs and 79 RBIs. Concepcion batted .252 last year with 7 home runs and 48 runs batted in, and the fastball lined to center for a base hit. So Concepcion gets the first hit of the ball game. Tommy Helms, a first base coach, a very fine ball player in his own right, a second baseman, mainly for Cincinnati.
When he came up, Tommy Helms, first base coach, played second base, as Ralph mentioned, and Pete Rose moved to another position.
Rose has played first, second, third, and all 3 outfield positions. I'm not too sure about center, but at least the outfield. That brings up Dave Parker. Parker hitting .277 this year with 6 home runs and 17 RBIs. 4 for 11 against the Mets this season. And a throw to first base. Reds have been running.
And they can run. Concepcion, when he was a little bit younger, stole a lot of bases. This guy, batting, can run very well for a guy about 6'6", I'd say 235, 240.
A hard 240.
245.
Had 5 stolen bases last year, and he gets a good breaking ball.
When he was at the Pirates, he had some problems. He ended up with Cincinnati, and it's his hometown. He's done rather well. You usually do well, or you do very poorly in your hometown. Bertie Tebbs, a scout, as you look at Pete Rose. Bertie Tebbs, a scout, the Cleveland Indians, said that if he felt that you were traded near your hometown, you usually did better.
And of course, Pete Rose, a hometown product.
Right.
Born and raised in Cincinnati. Ron Oster of the Cincinnati Reds, also a hometown product. Second baseman for Cincinnati. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dave Parker. Parker batted .312 last year with 34 home runs and 125 RBIs. Led the National League in runs batted in. And again, the breaking ball. And Ojeda with a count of 1-2 on Dave Parker. Parker, lifetime against the Mets, a .279 hitter with 14 home runs and 87 RBIs.
He didn't have a good swing there, but he hits left-handers very well.
He is not really a pull hitter, and the Mets are playing him as a pull hitter. It's a lot of balls to left field. Concepcion at first, and strike 3. So Ojeda goes to the curveball, picks up his second strikeout.
A good pitch from the southpaw to the southpaw. Good breaking ball. Tough pitch right there. Pitcher's pitch. You have to tip your hat occasionally to the pitcher.
Why don't they call right-handed pitchers northpaws.
I don't know. You know, I once read why they call it a southpaw, but you know something? I forgot.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Okay,
in just
go
a
ahead.
moment after we look at Tony Perez batting. Tony hitting 154 this year. There goes a runner. The throw to second base is not in time.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he got him. Jerry Crawford said that Tuffle made the tag as he slid by. Concepcion doesn't believe it.
Well, the key right here, Gary Carter, quick feet and a good strong throwing arm, got himself in a position to throw, threw a bullet to second base, and if he got him, he just got him.
It's close enough.
That's right.
So in the end, he one hit and no one left on base. And the score after 1/2 inning, the Reds nothing, the Mets coming up.
Sunjet, shining brighter every day, presents this season's travel forecast. Clear skies and low fares on Sunjet. Call 1-800-4-SUNJET and join the thousands who are saving hundreds of dollars on airfares. On Sunjet, you can fly New York via Newark to Dallas-Fort Worth starting at just $99 each way, and fly New York to Los Angeles starting at just $129. Seats are limited, so call 1-800-4-SUNJET to reserve yours. Sunjet, we're shining brighter every day.
Soto on the mound for the Reds. He has a record of 2-3 this year with an earned run average of 4.58. He has worked 35 in the third innings. He has given up 39 hits. 10 of them have been home runs. He has struck out 22, and he has walked 14. Has a lifetime record against the Mets of 9 wins and 5 losses.
And there's the Mets lineup. Lenny Dykstra leading off. Howard Johnson batting number 2. Howard Johnson is shortstop. Keith Hernandez first baseman batting third. Darryl Strawberry batting fourth in right field. Doing the catching, batting fifth. Gary Carter batting sixth. Danny Heap, Ray Knight batting seventh. Tim Tuffle, the second baseman, batting eighth. And Bobby Ojeda batting ninth.
And the defense, Perez at first, Oster at second, Concepcion at short, Bell at third. In the outfield, Jones, Davis, and Parker left to right. And the pitcher is Soto working to the catcher, Bo Diaz. And here's the last out, the play at second base.
And if you notice, Gary Carter really got his body in position to get rid of the ball. Tell you what, Tuffle could have tagged him. Let's take a look at another angle. Concepcion sliding. He got him. He's out. Nice play. Nice call by second base umpire Dan DeMuth. Hey, there's Pete Rose. Look at the bone. Do you believe it?
It's got to be Schatzi's bone.
Is Schatzi on this road trip? Who's rooming with him?
Schatzi has a suite.
Is it a he or a she?
It's a he.
It is.
Yeah. Schatzi is the mascot and the dog of personal friend of the owner of the ball club, Marge Schott.
Personal friend, huh?
Personal friend. Good shape. And the first pitch to Dykstra makes him move away. It's ball one. Lenny hitting .301 with 1 home run and 6 RBIs.
You know you're going bad when you sign and they tell you you're going to room with the dog.
And the fastball again, the count 2 balls and no strikes. Lenny hitting .323 in his last 20 ball games with 21 base hits. He has been on base in 18 of the 20 games he has played. And the strike call. Speaking of Schatzi, they had a banner up at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati that said, "End the curse, sacrifice Schatzi." It was about a minute later that the ushers came over and tore it down.
Is that right?
No, they didn't go for that. Another fastball, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It really is a cute dog. It's got quite a play in the Prescott. Marge Schott, the owner of the
St. Bernard, isn't it?
Cincinnati. Yeah, it's really a handsome devil. He doesn't look like he has much energy, though.
Well, the Reds are not playing well. He's very unhappy. And this ball popped up in the air to left center. Davis moving over. Jones also there, and Jones makes the play. So one away as Dykstra flies out to left.
Because everything went wrong with Cincinnati yesterday. You went to Braves, hammered them. Dale Murphy had 2 home runs. Ozzie Virgil hit a foul ball that hit the Cincinnati Reds owner right in the shoulder. Marge Schott, you know, she was sitting there near the dugout.
She took the shot well.
Yes, she did.
Came right back after being attended to and took her seat again.
Well, I tell you, Ozzie hit a bullet over there.
That'll to bring up Howard Johnson. Howard playing shortstop in tonight's ball game. Hitting at .310 for the year with 1 home run and 6 RBIs. And that is out of the strike zone for ball 1.
Mario Soto, for years, his bread and butter has been that overpowering fastball.
And throws a self-taught changeup that offsets a fastball. Straight change, they call it. Throws a slider as his 3rd pitch. And this one is popped up. Buddy Bell, the 3rd baseman, is there. 2 men away. Getting back to that southpaw, northpaw, they call a southpaw left-hand pitcher a southpaw because all baseball fields are set up so that north is left field.
That's right. I remember reading that now. Did you write that?
No. But north is always left field if the park is set up correctly. And, of course, the left-handed pitcher throws the opposite side of left field from the south.
What happens if they set up the ballpark in a different direction?
Then you don't call him anything. You call him left-handed.
Okay.
And here's a left-handed man right here in Keith Hernandez. Keith, 6 for 11 against the Reds this year. And he's hitting .330 for the year with 1 home run and 12 RBIs. Keith bringing an 11-game hitting streak into this game, and this year the 6 for 11 comes up to .462. Fastball in the count, 2 balls, no strikes.
Of course, if you hit a ball club pretty good over the years, it helps when you play against them. You're a lot more relaxed, a lot more confident as you look at Darryl Strawberry, and there's Mario Soto.
From the Dominican Republic. And the fastball, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Talking about confidence, I asked Pete Rose when we were in Cincinnati, the most important thing for him when he goes to the plate, he said to be confident.
Who said that?
Pete Rose.
He's got a reason to be with 4,200 hits.
Yeah. He said he has to be confident. That's the most important thing.
3-1. Soto thought he had a strike on that one. Didn't like the call.
I also thought it was interesting when Rose said that he didn't guess as a hitter. One of the few guys that admits to that.
That's not true.
Oh, okay.
Because when the count's 3 balls and 1 strike or 2 balls, no strikes, he looks fastball just like anybody else would, so that's guessing.
He said he looks fastball all the time, so I guess in a way it's guessing. He said the most important thing for him is to see the rotation of the ball.
And here's a man right here that can see the rotation on the ball. At least he says he does. 3-2 the count. And the fastball is popped up down the left field side. Coming over is Tracy Jones, and he puts it away, and the Mets go in order. 3 fly balls. You'll see a lot of that, and the score at the end of 1. The Reds nothing, the Mets nothing.
Celebrate 25 years of pride, tradition, and great hockey action. For tickets, call 1-800-882-ISLES.
We're talking baseball, classic baseball, with 86 Mets Curtain Call, right here only on Sportschannel.
We're going to the top of the 2nd, no score. The Reds will be sending up Tony Perez, Buddy Bell, and Eric Davis. Cool evening here, 46 degrees. But baseball coming your way from Sportschannel. And the Mets against the Cincinnati Reds. Here's Tony Perez.
Those batting gloves keep you warm, keep the hands warm.
It was just about a year ago that Tony hit a pinch hit grand slam home run to become the oldest player to ever hit a grand slam home run.
He's 44 years old.
May 13th. And his birthday is May 14th, so a day before his 44th birthday.
Good hitter. Had that in-and-out type swing with power.
Hitting 154 this year with no home runs and 1 RBI. And he gets a fastball for ball 1.
A couple teams gave up on this guy, Montreal and the Boston Red Sox. As you mentioned, he had a good year last year with the Cincinnati Reds.
7 All-Star games. Again, the fastball, 2 balls, no strikes.
Ralph, I was really surprised when we were in Cincinnati to find out that this guy, during the Big Red Machine years, the great years, he was the most popular player with Cincinnati.
And the changeup, little turnover fastball with something taken off, 2 balls and 1 strike. Tony Perez has hit a total of 377 home runs in his major league career. And he fouls it off. That's tied for 26th on the all-time list. He's hit 2 less home runs than Orlando Cepeda, who holds the record for most home runs hit by a Latin American player.
Same type of hitter.
Lot alike.
Yeah.
Right about that.
A lot alike.
2-2 as Ojeda comes back to Perez and strikes him out. Ojeda now has struck out 3 of his first 4 batters.
Well, that's a good fastball right there. Threw that ball right by Perez. Here it is again. Boy, that was a pretty good pitch right there.
Boy, he hummed it by him.
Yeah, another angle. Boy, he did.
So by setting that fastball up with the off-speed pitch, he sneaks it right on by the veteran Tony Perez.
You can't get a day at the beach against the Mets pitching staff.
Buddy Bell, the batter, and he goes after a fastball. Buddy hitting just 177. No home runs, 1 RBI.
Well, he's had a fine career in the American League.
Hadn't been able to do it in the National League. Hit 219 for Cincinnati last year after being a 280 hitter in the American League. Fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Talked about Pete Rose and Dave Parker playing in their backyard of Cincinnati, Ohio. Buddy Bell, a native of Cincinnati. So is Ron Oster, the second baseman.
And this pitch fouled off. Again, the fastball. It's 1-2.
Saw on the news last night, even Pete Rose is getting booed in Cincinnati because of the start of the Cincinnati Reds.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, I know it.
He's the franchise.
Oh.
Pete Rose probably put more people in the ballpark than anybody that ever lived, even Babe Ruth.
That's right.
Watching those streaks that he has put together, 44 consecutive games, he packed the ballpark for those games.
And how many times have you heard an ex-major leaguer or a major leaguer say that they would pay to see Pete Rose play?
Charlie Hustle. When Marge Schott bought the ball club and hired Pete Rose, she said the model of our team will be hustle and bustle. Again, the fastball fouled away.
This guy here, as I mentioned, had a fine career in the American League. He has that short stride, short stroke. His father was a great ball player.
Hey, his father had a great swing. Gus Bell started his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Buddy introduced his own son to Veda Pinson at an All-Star game.
And another strikeout for Ojeda, who has struck out 4 of his first 5 batters.
Well, that was a good fastball. Once again, Bobby Ojeda featuring that good hummer right now. Here it is, inside. Boy, just nipping the inside part of the plate and running off the plate. Here's Buddy taking that pitch. Boy, it's tough with 2 strikes because you're looking and you want to protect the outside part of the plate.
Well, you can tell when a player's in a slump. He complained in that pitch, and it was in the strike zone.
Yeah.
When you're not going well, everything looks like it's out of the strike zone. Now the batter is Eric Davis, and a strike call. Davis hitting 191 with 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in. Missed with a fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike.
So far, it looks like the right-handed hitters are looking for the ball away from Ojeda, and he's getting him inside.
He'll pitch that fastball inside, which you have to do if you're a left-hand pitcher. A lot of left-hand pitchers don't want to pitch inside. Another one inside is 2-1.
They're afraid that ball will tail back out over the plate. Jim Palmer feels if you miss inside, you can really be damaged, as opposed to missing outside. Guys can't hit the ball the other way as far.
There's a perfect pitch in the outside corner, 2-2.
Eric Davis, by the way, is the type of hitter that he can hit the ball a long way. He could hit some home runs, but his problem has been contact. When we were in Cincinnati, they were using him as their leadoff man. Of course, when you're losing and your leadoff man's not getting on, first thing you do is drop him down in the order.
He has excellent speed, so he can steal bases. 2-2 pitch, right 3. So 5 of the first 6 batters have been struck out by Bob Ojeda. And a 1-2-3 inning. The score at the end of 1.5. The Reds nothing, the Mets nothing.
A friend of mine told me, try America Online. I said, why? I've got a computer. He said, try it. You'll see. It's simple. Every time you sign on, welcome. It tells you if you've got mail. You've got mail. Want to send some email? Type the message. Click here, and it's done. I like this. With one click, I can browse all kinds of great features on America Online. I've gotten help with my golf swing, planned my next vacation. I even get stock price updates every 15 minutes. America Online has over 100 newspapers and magazines, everything from Business Week Online to Cycle World, and I can browse them all. With America Online, you can point and click your way across the internet. And their web browser makes it easy to explore the World Wide Web. Call the toll-free number and you'll receive your free startup kit and 50 free hours to look around. It's worth a try. You'll see.
Try the new America Online. Call 1-800-922-1991 for your free startup kit and 50 free hours. Call now.
Darryl Strawberry, the leadoff for the Mets. Strawberry 3 for 8 against the Reds this year. 2 of them have been home runs. And as it was indicated on the pregame show, Strawberry with 2 home runs against Mario Soto. Strawberry with 6 home runs on the year, hitting .286. He's driven in 19.
Like one of the things a player remembers the most is that first day in the big leagues, that first game where Mario Soto struck out Darryl Strawberry.
Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Retribution has been taken, though. Strawberry has come right back to get him. First pitch, a fastball. And another fastball. 2 balls, no strikes.
Soto running that ball away from Strawberry. As Ralph mentioned, those 2 home runs in Cincinnati, I'm sure on the mind of Mario Soto.
And those things are indelible.
Oh, really?
2-0 pitch, fastball, and it's popped up into shallow left field. Tracy Jones with his 3rd chance, and he gets his 3rd putout. So Soto picks up the out. All 4 outs have been in the air against Mario Soto. He is a fly ball pitcher, and it brings up Gary Carter. Carter hitting .247, 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in. 1 for 8 against the Reds this year. Carter with 100 RBIs last year and 32 home runs. And a high slider for ball 1.
Gary started off like a ball of fire. He's cooled off a bit. Of course, the rest of the Mets have been getting hot.
Sign of a good ball club when all the others pick you up when you're in the slump. Carter has been in a slight slump. There's a good fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Carter, right there, an example of good bat speed also from Gary Carter.
Mike Marshall leads the National League in runs batted in with 23s. Carter and Strawberry with 19. Fastball and popped up again. This time it'll be Ron Oster. And another out in the air. That's 5 in the air.
You know, it's interesting. You watch Gary Carter swing the bat, and he's swinging the bat all right, just not getting base hits. It's usually a mental thing, too. Boy, that can really get on your mind, and tough to get out of that slump.
And here's Danny Heap playing left field tonight, hitting .346, 1 home run and 9 RBIs. He has started 6 games, and he's hit in all 6 with 8 runs batted in. And And the fastball tails back in the inside corner.
He's done a fine job since coming over from the Houston Astros. Right now, in spring training, the spotlight was on the Strawberries, the Sean Abner, Stanley Jefferson, Mookie Wilson's injury, but this guy continues to do the job for the Mets.
Led the Pacific Coast League in hitting in the minor leagues. He's always had a good stroke.
I think he's the type of guy that you're confident. When he's sitting there, you're confident to put him in there. You tend to really favor a glamour-type player, especially here in New York. People in New York want success. And they like it with a flair.
Fastball fouled off, so they counted 1 ball and 2 strikes.
There's 2 of the glamour players here in New York. On the left, Dwight Gooden. On the right, Mookie Wilson.
Mookie back with the Mets on the active list after being in Tidewater for that rehabilitation. High slider again, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Vic Young's column today and mentioned that Mookie Wilson, when he got the news he was called to the big leagues, he said he felt like a rookie again. I think that's great.
Good approach to baseball.
Oh, yes.
2-2. Enthusiasm. And the slider hit on the ground. Perez over and bobbles it, so Danny Heap will be safe.
I give him a hit.
Good play.
Yeah.
See what kind of a heart the official scorer has.
Well, here it is again. Danny Heap fighting the ball off, and Perez ranging to his right, and the ball hitting off the bottom of the glove, and another angle. I'd give him a base hit.
Heap was tied up with that slider inside. He didn't get a piece of it. Still no decision by the official scorer. So the Mets have their first base runner, and Ray Knight will be the batter, and it's being scored a base hit. My kind of score.
All right.
Ray Knight, a hot batter for the Mets, hitting at .338 for the year with 6 home runs and 17 RBIs. Had an idea about Bunny. Buddy Bell was deep at third.
I think it's interesting, Ralph. Ray Knight going from the bent-over stance as you look at this year against the Reds, 545, no home runs, 4 RBIs, going straight up and down and using his hands more. He said he's more comfortable now. Bill Robinson said he got the idea of just shaking hands with Ray Knight. He said his hands are so strong, he didn't think he used his hands enough.
Whatever it was, it certainly has worked for him so far this year. There's a good breaking ball, and a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Soto with a lifetime record of 91 wins and 76 losses.
Looks like he has bad eyes. Squinted in for this side.
Doesn't help you when you're a hitter when they look at him like that. How about Ryan Duran?
Oh.
With those big, thick glasses. Good fastball. Fastball in a good spot. It's 1-2.
Said Ryan Duran used to throw the first pitch off the backstop.
You're never sure whether he meant it or not.
Tell you, as a catcher, when a pitcher is up high wild and the ball really gets away by mistake and you really flatten a hitter, not hit him, but he goes down in a hurry and it's a mistake pitch, in a way you kind of say, geez, that's a good pitch. Of course, you don't want to be doing it.
Served a purpose.
Yeah, you don't want to do it when you're hitting them.
And struck him out. So Soto gets his first strikeout. The Mets get their first hit and leave 1. And the score at the end of 2. The Reds nothing, the Mets nothing.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Were you frustrated about your hair loss?
Who wouldn't be?
So what happened when you called?
They really are hair transplant specialists. And they offered me the right solution. They really cared about my concerns.
Hair transplantation is totally natural because it's your own hair, and it will continue to grow for the rest of your life. Call now and put your concerns of hair loss behind you forever.
It isn't meant to be an arrogant statement. It's how you play. When you play with that kind of attitude, refuse to lose, you expect to win. You play to win. When you do lose, because you're going to lose some, you don't blame anybody. You don't take away from anybody's win. You just learn from it. And it's about a learning experience. It's about building an attitude where you fully expect every game that you're going to win.
Top of the third, another big crowd here at Shea Stadium as we go to Bo Diaz as the leadoff batter. On the mound for the Mets, Bob Ojeda. Ojeda hitting .243 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. And Ojeda, with his first delivery, has struck out 5 of his first 6 batters, and he gets a strike. .313 lifetime batting average against the Mets. 5 home runs, 22 RBIs. Curveball, line to left. It'll be a base hit. Heap takes it on the first hop, and the Reds have a runner on with no one out here in the top of the 3rd.
Oh, Bo Diaz going down and raking that ball. Watch this. Pitch down, breaking ball, hit it off the end of the bat. And he's 1 for 1.
That was a good pitch, and he was fooled by it, but he got the bat on it, even though he was out in front of the pitch, and got a base hit. So a runner on for Ron Oster. Oster hitting .198 this year with 1 home run and 3 RBIs. And that's ball 1.
Bobby Ojeda last year struck out 102 batters, pitching for the Boston Red Sox. 157 and 2/3 innings.
Pretty good strikeout ratio for a pitcher that's not overpowered.
Yeah.
And that little turnover changeup, it's like a screwball, and he gets a good swinging strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Year before that, he struck out 137 hitters. Here's that pitch again. Turns it over. Well, he's got you coming and going. Breaking ball in, fastball in, screwball away.
Good location on that one, and the pitch back is just off the outside corner.
Same pitch.
2 balls, 1 strike.
It's a pitch that not many guys are throwing now. If they go to a trick pitch today, it's that split finger fastball.
Comes back with a fastball, sneaks it right on through on the inside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If you can come up with a trick pitch along with a pretty good fastball and a breaking ball and throw it for strikes, you get a chance to be a good pitcher.
Stands to reason if you have 3 good pitches, it's harder to hit than 2 good pitches. Ground ball to third. Knight a tough chance. He comes up with it, gets the force play, and a fine play by Ray Knight.
Excellent play by Ray Knight, and Bo Diaz limping off the field as he was going into second base. Ray Knight had to play this ball between hops, and a good pitch by Ojeda. Watch Knight plays the ball off his body and is able to get the force play at second base. Another angle. One of the reasons he was able to get the force play is because Diaz was running, favoring a bad leg, and Knight once again making that throw to second base. Tuffle making the catch.
So Knight, who saved the last game the Mets played with a great catch, comes up with a good play here, and Oster on at first base on the force play at second. Soto attempting to bunt and does. Hernandez with a lot of time picks up the out at first, and the sacrifice moves Oster down to second.
It's interesting watching Hernandez field that ball. He came in and he knew right away the bunt was good. He knew who was running off of first base. He knew where he had to go with the ball. Another look at that bunt. Excellent bunt by Soto. Hernandez has been around so long, he doesn't have to rely on the catcher or pitcher. He knows exactly what's happening. You know who's on first base. You know the speed. You know the bunt. This guy doesn't. He can use a catcher for verification if he has a doubt.
Now Tracy Jones, he is fooled with that turnover change-up, and it's strike 1. Jones struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Started the game at 3:14. No home runs and 3 RBIs. Oster the runner at second. And the fastball.
Boy, Ojeda really mixing up his pitches very well. Right there, he went inside on Tracy Jones and went inside bad enough to concern Jones. See what he does now.
Ojeda with a heater.
That's right. Ojeda with a heater.
1-1 the count. Back with a fastball, and strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Boy, Jones also with those very active hands. Right there, he took a pitch. He dropped the bat down by his kneecap when he took that pitch.
One of the outstanding young players the Reds have.
Where his hands are.
Strange batting position.
Yeah, he gets it back, though.
This one is out to center, back deep center. Dykstra back as far as he can go, and he pulls it down. Makes the play to retire the side. Lenny Dykstra in center field. 1 hit and 1 left. Let's look at that again.
Here it is again. Look at this kid. He hustles back. He backtracks, makes the catch. It goes down. Watch him get up. Another angle. Outstanding play by the Mets center fielder. Boom. And up in a hurry.
Gets your suit dirty, and that's one fellow that does.
Yes.
Len Dykstra. No runs, one hit, one outstanding play, and one left. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings. The Reds nothing, the Mets nothing.
Had enough of high credit card rates? You know, the average American pays about 17%. But you're not average. You deserve better. You pay all your bills on time. You deserve to pay less. Now that's more like it. A 7.9% Visa card from a bank you know. Chase Manhattan. Call 1-800-918-8300 to apply for the card that's going to save you money. You can transfer your high-interest balances, and you don't pay an annual fee. So come on, call and apply for a Chase Visa with a fixed 7.9% rate until June 1997. Because credit like yours deserves an interest rate like ours. The 7.9% Chase Visa. Anything more is just too much. 1-800-918-8300.
It's baseball like it ought to be, all over again. You're watching 86 Mets Curtain Call here on Sportschannel.
And we're going to the bottom of the third. No score in the game. For the Mets, it'll be Tim Tuffle to lead off. Reds with no runs on 2 hits. The Mets have no runs on 1. First game of a 3-game series with the Cincinnati Reds. Tuffle yet to bat against Red pitching. Hitting 208 for the year with 1 home run and 7 RBIs.
A guy that Davey Johnson saw play in AAA when Davey was managing there, and he liked him. That's why they tell you in the minor leagues, hustle all the time, because there's scouts in the stands. An opposing manager might like you, and he might get to the major leagues.
Tuffle got to the major leagues with the Minnesota Twins. Raised in Greenwich, Connecticut. Went to St. Mary's High School. And Mario Soto on the mound. Starts off with a changeup, a good one. Strike 1.
When Soto first came to the big leagues, he just relied on that good heater. Blew everybody away.
And time called. Diaz and Soto trying to get together, I guess, on the signs. What would you think?
I'll tell you, it can't be that big a problem with the signs because when nobody's on base, you usually use the simple set of signs. Even with somebody on second base, you can use a simple set of signs. All you have to do is touch the shin guard, chest protector, and mask. Put down 5 signs. The signs that you touch, the chest protector, the mask, and the shin guards mean nothing. And the first sign you put down of the 5 will be the sign. They should just make sure that everything's simple.
There are your passes up there.
You're right.
1 strike to count, and now strike 2. Soto, a good strikeout pitcher. Tuffle, a .260 hitter in the American League. Had 10 home runs last season for the Twins.
That's a different ballpark.
The Homer Dome.
Oh, how many home runs would Killebrew have hit in that place?
When you think about the first park he played in, the old Washington Senator ballpark, it was 405 down the left field line.
Wow.
A little extracurricular activity. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The hitter should tell the umpire, get that balloon. I'd like to see him jump that high to get it.
Malcolm Forbes must be in the ballpark.
Malcolm Forbes. He's been known to get into a balloon.
High pop up to center field. Eric Davis is there. 1 away. That'll bring up Bob Ojeda. Soto has struck out more batters in the last 5 seasons than any other pitcher in the majors, over 1,000.
With that good heater, breaking ball, as you mentioned now, a changeup.
Soto holds the record for most strikeouts by a Latin player. Struck out 274 one year. Broke a record that was held by Luis Tiant.
Louis Tiant. Started off with the Cleveland Indians, ended up in Minnesota. Atlanta Braves released him. He found second life in Boston.
Ground ball to the second baseman, Oster. And Ojeda rounds out.
Ralph, we were talking about signs, pitchers and catchers. Don McMahon, who pitched till he was 45 years old in the major leagues, I remember we had a meeting when he was a pitcher with the Giants, and they had these complicated signs. He didn't say anything in the meeting. After the meeting, he got the catchers. He said, if I'm pitching, put down one. If I shake you off, one will be a fastball. If I shake you off, I'm going to throw a curveball. Nothing else.
He had a good fastball, didn't he?
That's right.
He was some competitor.
Brooklyn, New York.
He'd flip you over. And there's ball one to Len Dykstra. Len flat out to left field his first time up.
Don McMahon from Brooklyn, New York, pitched with the Milwaukee Braves for many years. He'd flip you over and then be happy to punch you in the forehead if you came to the mound.
1 ball, 1 strike. Soto's career high for strikeouts, 15 in one game. He did it one time against the Mets. He has done it twice.
Soto has a nice delivery, a delivery where you really wouldn't hurt your arm. I mean, it's fluid. Nothing herky-jerky about that motion. Gary Nolan, who pitched with the Reds with that good fastball, used to hook around behind his back, and that really does a job on your arm.
Soto led the league in complete games 2 years ago. Fastball foul away. It's 1-2.
You know, if you watch Soto throw, they tell a pitcher you got to open up. Before you throw, you've got to open up. You can't throw across your body. If you watch where Soto places that foot, it's almost like Tom Seaver. It really is a noticeable opening up of the hips. He places that left foot down, and the hip is open, and he comes through.
Just like in hitting.
Yeah.
Ooh, good breaking ball. Hit on the ground to the shortstop, Concepcion. And the Mets go in order, hitting ground balls for outs for the first time in the ball game. The score at the end of 3 as Tim McCarver comes in. It's the Reds nothing and the Mets nothing.
Celebrate 25 years of pride, tradition, and great hockey action. For tickets, call 1-800-882-ISLES.
Well, top of the 5th inning here at Shea Stadium. No score. The Reds and the Mets. Mentioned the big crowd on hand. The Mets averaging at home 31,183. Big crowd tonight. Tomorrow should be a pretty good crowd. They got Ron Darling against Tom Browning. And then Sunday, Dwight Gooden against Bill Gullickson.
Yeah, and we'd like to correct a scoring error on our part. It is 1-3 on that bunt by Howard Johnson to lead off the 4th inning when he was hit in the baselines running too far. It is 1-3, just as though the first baseman made the catch and made the putout.
And Buddy Bell, who got his 2000s career hit in '85, steps in and takes a strike from Bobby Ojeda. 0-1. Second place Montreal victorious over the Dodgers 8-4 this afternoon in Montreal as Buddy Bell slaps a ball down the right field line. Extra bases for Buddy Bell. Darryl Strawberry picks it up and Bell glides into second base with a stand-up double. And that's what Bell usually does when he's hitting the ball well. Uses the whole field and slaps it.
Yeah, and that's a good piece of hitting right there. A lot of people would say, well, that's a C&I base hit, but it was a sinker away, hit fairly well down the line, and you got to give credit to a guy like Buddy Bell. You keep trying to pull that sinker, and and you'll end up playing Pepper with the shortstop all night long. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Pete Rose bunt with Eric Davis here.
Mentioned before, Eric Davis at times has trouble swinging the bat. The most important thing for Pete Rose now is to score runs. He's got to break this terrible slump the Reds are in. Eric Davis in his ball game Cade, and he slaps the ball down the right field line, foul. By the way, Bobby Ojeda through 4 struck out 6 Reds.
His high for strikeouts, Ojeda's high, was back in 1984 at Detroit Tiger Stadium, May 3rd to be exact. He struck out 10 Tigers. But he's concerned about getting out of this inning without the Reds scoring. Davis trying to go to right field first time up. One thing you do when you have Davis bunt, he could lay down a routine bunt, sacrifice, and maybe beat it out.
He can fly. Billy DeMars, the third base coach at the Reds, the hitting instructor, very high on this guy, Eric Davis. Of course, the big thing for Eric is to make contact. The 0-1 pitch, he takes up high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
He had bunting on his mind, too. If you've got a guy who's kind of in a free fall, Davis batting only 191 coming in, and he doesn't make contact, you want to at least move Bell from second to third. The best way to do it here is to bunt.
Swung on and missed. 1-2.
Ball way out of the strike zone. A young hitter like that trying to hit the ball the other way, and really looks like he has no concept on how to do it.
It was interesting. Pete Rose, the first pitch allowed Eric Davis to take a shot to right field. Second pitch, he had him square around. He took it for a ball, and right there he swung over the pitch. 1-2. Ooh, boy.
Good call, though.
Yeah, not a bad pitch either.
It was a good call, even though it may have missed inside. Harry Wendelstedt thought it did. It looked a little tight. Looked a little tight. Very close, though. But the big thing, when a guy's trying to go the other way, you got to pitch him tight. He's still trying to go that way.
Yes, he is, with 2 strikes. Right now, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Eric Davis. Nobody out. We're in the top of the 5th inning. No score. There's Pete Rose right there. Pete Rose, 4,207 hits. Way inside, so the count is full. On deck for the Reds, Bo Diaz. So Gary Carter calls right here, 3-2. And Eric Davis, it's a fly ball, right center field. Bell will be able to advance as Strawberry catches the ball. And Davis gets the job done, hitting a long fly ball to right center field.
That was a good piece of hitting by Eric Davis. And everybody in the dugout standing up, and that makes you feel good. You go out there, now that's really an 0 for 1. It'll read like that in the box score, but guys standing up like that, congratulating you when you're going, that's what a team concept is really all about. And this is why they're standing up. He moves Buddy Bell to third base, and Bell has a chance to score now on something other than a base hit. Buddy makes it easily to third base, and a good job by Eric Davis.
And as you mentioned, Tim, it does make you feel good.
It does.
And when you sacrifice a guy over, it makes you feel good. Things that don't show up in the box score. And Bo Diaz, the catcher, is the batter. Buddy Bell leading off third, the infield in, and Gary Carter blocking that ball. There's Buddy. Everybody's on the grass in the infield. 1 ball, no strike count on Bo Diaz, and 1 man down. There you get a look at the defense. And Diaz can put the ball in play.
A good contact hitter.
He singled on a tough pitch his first time up to left field. He takes up high ball 1. His single, 1 of 3 hits for the Reds tonight. The Mets have only 1 off of Mario Soto. He hit a nasty pitch, as Ralph Kiner mentioned before, and picked up a base hit. Up high, 3-0.
It doesn't appear that Ojeda and Carter want to pitch to Bo Diaz. The one thing, if you do walk him, either intentionally or unintentionally, you can drop your infield back into double play depth with Oster the batter, and you get 1 more hitter closer to the pitcher. So that's why they're pitching Diaz carefully in this at bat. might be hitting here.
Up high. Unintentional, intentional walk right there. They're going to go for that double play. Diaz, as I mentioned earlier, limping into second base. He's had trouble with his legs. Ron Oster, the batter, and Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez talking to Bobby Ojeda. As Tim mentioned, they'll drop the infield back and go for the 2. Oster 0 for 1 in his ball game. Bounce to third base. Ray Knight making a nice play and an in-between hop.
Tim Tuffle at second trying to move Len Dykstra. And properly, too. Lenny just moving in about 3 steps.
And look at Keith Hernandez directing traffic out there.
First and third baseman now, remember, have the option of either coming home with the ball or going to second if the ball's not hit sharply.
Up high to Oster. 1 ball and no strikes. Oster coming into tonight's action, batting 198. And the 1-0 pitch. Slaps the ball back into the crowd, now to play, so the count evens up 1-1. There's Buddy Bell on third, and Bo Diaz on first, being held on by Keith Hernandez. Looks like Keith is throwing a block at him. The 1-1 pitch. Screwball is popped to right field. Buddy Bell is tagging, and Darryl Strawberry makes the catch. Diaz holding on at first base. Throw comes in. Absolutely no chance to get Buddy Bell. Ball is hit deep enough. And Bo Diaz hustles back to first base.
And that's where he should have been when the play started. When Strawberry catches the ball, Diaz has got to tag up. And then if you have a mistake in the outfield, Diaz waltzes into second. But look at him. He's halfway. Standard practice. First and third on a medium deep depth fly ball, which that was. The runner at first tags, and he should be on second base if the throw is offline. Another thing you get a guy to do, you get a first baseman to cut the ball too, even though Strawberry was too deep then.
And the ball is bunted by Mario Soto. Ray Knight makes the play, scored 5-3, and that'll do it for the Reds here in the top of the 5th. But they pick up 1 run on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Ron Oster. And at the end of 4.5 innings of play, the score, the Reds 1, the Mets nothing.
Sunjet, shining brighter every day, presents this season's travel forecast. Clear skies and low fares on Sunjet. Call 1-800-4-SUNJET and join the thousands who are saving hundreds of dollars on airfares. On Sunjet, you can fly from New York via Newark to Orlando from just $79. New York to Tampa St. Pete for just $79. And New York to Fort Lauderdale is also just $79. Seats are limited, so call 1-800-4-SUNJET to reserve yours. Sunjet, we're shining brighter every day.
I don't think it's a rivalry. It's great hockey game. This is a team that has a lot of talent, a team that is exciting to watch on the ice. They have a lot of tools, a lot of talent. If you don't bear down, if you don't concentrate on things that they do best, you're done. You have to be at your best to perform against them.
So Gary Carter, who's 0 for 1 in his ball game, leading off, he popped to third base his first time up. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Reds. For the Mets, no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. That hit, an infield hit off the bat of Danny Heath. Gary Carter hits a shot, but foul. Darling on the mound tomorrow for the Mets.
The lowdown.
Tom Browning, Bill Gullickson against the Doctor on Sunday. Outside to Gary Carter, 1-1. This is the first time the Mets have trailed in a game since May 1st in Atlanta.
That was a game in which Zane Smith beat the Mets 7-2. And the Mets had the lead in that game in the first inning.
Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I mentioned Zane Smith. Is he still leading the National League in strikeouts? Fine left-handed pitcher with the Atlanta Braves, leading the National League with 45 strikeouts. And the 1-2 pitch to Gary Carter is sky. Right center field, Dave Parker called for Ron Oster. Outstanding catch by Ron Oster. So the Red second baseman, wow.
Well, I'll tell you, we've had some bizarre plays between the second baseman and right field and the center fielder. Reminds you of that story about got it so messed up nobody can play it. Saw Darryl Strawberry run into Tim Tuffle the other day. What a jolt. A shaky catch by Darryl to end the game the other night with the bases loaded. So that area down there is kind of like the Bermuda Triangle.
Danny Heath is the batter. Boy, you're right. That right field has been a problem. Danny Heath takes outside ball one. That catch you mentioned the other day to end the ball game was something else with the bases jammed. Danny Heath, as I mentioned, the only hit in today's ball game for the Mets. A ground ball off the glove of Tony Perez at first base. There's a strike. 1-1. Soto taking those signs from Bo Diaz and the 1-1 pitch. Danny Heath hits a long drive center field. Eric Davis back and makes the catch on the warning track. Ball jumped off of Danny Heath's bat.
Yeah, that wind lazily taking that ball that would have been out on a normal day or a warmer evening, should say. This ball really took off the bat, as you said, and Bud Davis catches it middle of the warning track. Long out.
And the batter now, Ray Knight, 2 men out. We've had a quiet ball game so far. 1-0. The Reds on top of the Mets.
Well, that's what pitching does. It kind of sedates the crowd.
Ray Knight, 6-game hitting streak. Swung and missed. Good pitch right there. Bottom fell out. 0-1. Tim Tuffle on deck. Mario Soto, 2-3 on the year. It's fastball, but out of the strike zone. 1-1. And Mario Soto was 8-3 to 2.48 ERA on June 4th last year. Did not win his 9th game until July 22nd. 8 straight losses. I remember that streak. Ball pulled foul.
Well, the one thing he's done tonight, he's thrown his slider more often. And if you throw fastball and changeup, you've got a hitter going back and forth. But when you also have him going away from the plate and reaching, then you got him going 4 ways. And that's what the breaking ball will do. Sometimes it's not good enough to just throw the fastball and straight change. You need a bender in there somewhere. And that's what the slider's been doing for him tonight.
1-2 on Knight. And Ray Knight, it's a fly ball center field. Eric Davis drifting back and makes the catch for out number 3. So here in the bottom of the 5th, the Mets 3 up, 3 down, and after 5, there's the score. Reds 1, Mets nothing.
Well, if you're going to do a film about something like hockey, you need to use real hockey players. You have to be technically correct.
No. You got to use a wide-angle lens here, like an 18. Think John Frankenheimer.
An 18, you need to make them feel, even though they're not filmmakers, that their suggestions are welcome.
Wide open. Hey, wait, wide open. You go wide open, the whole background's going to go soft. I've envisioned this as a kind of a Citizen Kane, deep focus kind of feel. I mean,
Mike, just, you know, how about this? How about you let me direct, I'll let you act. Right?
Hopefully by the time you've wrapped, you've both provided each other a little insight.
Isn't this a great movie, Tim?
I don't like it when they use the subtitles. It's better when they dub it, you know?
The Independent Film Channel. Call your cable company.
Daryl, Doc, Keith, and the kid. You're watching 86 Mets Curtain Call right here on Sports Channel.
Well, the Cincinnati Reds' young left fielder Tracy Jones leading off as we go to the top of the 6th inning. He fouls the ball out of play. No balls and 1 strike. He's 0 for 2 in this ball game. He struck out his first time up and flied to center field in the 3rd inning. Tracy Jones holds those hands in a relaxed fashion. And he hits on top of this ball. Ground ball to Ray Knight. Scored 5-3. 1 man down.
One of the truly, even though that was a rather routine play, one of the remarkable things about Ray Knight's year so far is not that he's been swinging the bat that well, or certainly he's been swinging the bat very well, but his defense at third base has just improved remarkably. I mean, saved a ball game the other night for the Mets in the top of the 9th inning with runners at 1st and 2nd and 2 out. Phil Garner hit the ball down the 3rd base line. Ray Knight made the backhanded stop, and then they retired Glenn Davis on that pop-up that we talked about earlier. That was a game-saving play Ray Knight has made, and he's just a different ball player all the way around.
Lost a lot of weight, got off to a good start offensively. And Davey Concepcion takes down low. 1 ball, no strikes on the Cincinnati Reds shortstop. 1 man out. Top of the 6th inning, 1-0. The Reds on top of the Mets. 2-0. Well, Ray Knight, as you mentioned, when he first joined the Mets, big question mark was his shoulder. He's throwing the ball very well now.
Shoulder initially, then right elbow.
Right elbow? Mm-hmm. Got a lot of problems. There's a strike, 2-1. And of course, when you're over 30 years old and a guy stops hitting for whatever reason, people start to say, I wonder if he's all done.
Yeah, nobody thinks older players can improve.
That's right.
Or just have a bad year.
And then when you do it 2 years in a row, they figure, yeah, I was right. He was done. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Concepcion.
That's a changeup right there with the count.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreboard wrong. That scoreboard out there is 4 strikes. That can't be right. Fly ball, right center field, little drop. Strawberry cutting it off in the gap and getting the ball back in. And Concepcion is on first base with 1 man down here in the top of the 6th. And with Concepcion on first base, the batter will be Dave Parker, who struck out and grounded to second base. Parker coming into tonight's action, batting .277, 6 home runs, 17 RBIs. Check Concepcion at first base. He will try to steal a base. One time he could really run.
Way to go back into first base, and Davey knows that, but he was caught in between. He didn't know whether to go back standing up or sliding in. That's what happened to Pedro Guerrero, not at first base, but at third base, playing against the Atlanta Braves in spring training. He didn't know whether to slide or not.
Swung on and missed. 0-1.
And his spikes caught in the ground and turned that right knee of his around. Boy, that must have been a terrible injury.
And for about 2 years, he used the cleats and not the spikes.
Yeah.
And he decided to go back to the spikes this year. I mean, obviously it didn't affect his hitting because he swung the bat very well with the cleats. Howard
Johnson giving the sign as to who's going to cover. It's kind kind of unusual for a shortstop without a lot of experience to be the one who's given the sign, but probably Tuffle can't see the signs from the second base position. Open mouth is you got it. Closed mouth is me. Right. Me. We'll see. There it is. Howard's not showing us. Not showing anybody but Tuffle.
And there's the ball slapped on the right field line, foul.
Boy, that was a great example. We talk about a lot of times that if you pitch a hitter one way too many times in a row, what in effect he does is take the outside part of that plate and bring it into the middle part. And that's what Parker did there. 3 straight breaking balls. And this is the swing. Now watch that front shoulder. See, he's really leaning right back out there. That's why pitchers have to straighten hitters up by throwing them inside. Then what you do is reestablish the outside part of the plate.
So 0-2. Let's see if he goes inside. Concepcion leading off first. Again outside. Concepcion's got second. Good reaction by Concepcion. As soon as the ball hit the dirt, he was gone.
It's going to be scored a wild pitch, but it really was good reactions on the part of Davy Concepcion. Got to anticipate these things when you're on first base. If you're not anticipating, you're caught back on your heels, and then it's too late. If you don't run right away, you don't make it to second. Outstanding base runner, Davy Concepcion.
So now he's in scoring position. 1-2 count on Dave Parker. 1 out. Gary Carter talking to Bobby Ojeda. As you mentioned, Tim Parker really leaning out over the plate, able to handle some of those balls that ordinarily would be very difficult. Well, you're watching all the action live from Shea Stadium in Flushing, New York. 1-0 Reds on top of the Mets. Swung out and missed. Strike 3.
That's the 7th strikeout for Bob Ojeda. 5 straight curveballs. Now the difference with that, it was out of the strike zone. If you're going to throw it out of the strike zone, Parker does have a tendency to swing at bad balls. That was a bad ball, but you don't need to straighten anybody up with it. And that's, I guess, what Ojeda and Carter were thinking. They were almost burned on that 0-2 pitch. That ball just fouled on the right field line.
And Tony Perez, the batter. 2 outs, and Perez swings and misses strike 1. Concepcion on second base, 2 men down. We're in the top of the 6th inning, 1-0. The Reds on top of the Mets. Showed you the scoreboard before. Montreal beat the Dodgers 8-4. Montreal playing good baseball. Mets playing red-hot baseball. Down low.
Hubie Brooks had a home run, a triple, and a double in that game. Valenzuela, the loser. Montreal beat the Dodgers 8-4. Hubie Brooks moving right up in every offensive category in the National.
Yes, he has. Had a fine year last year with the Expos.
Drove in 100.
Played some good shortstop for him, and Perez's jam fouls the ball off. 1-2. Tony Perez broke his bat. They changed that rule about walking around, going back for pine tar and changing bats unless they're broken because of John Mayberry when he was at Kansas City.
Well, they don't have that rule in the National League, though. It's in the American League.
Well, you can't. I don't think you can go back for pine tar.
Oh, in the National League you can.
While you're at bat?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They had. I know they've
never changed that. I know the American League has that.
Oh, they had it.
Yeah.
That was an experience. Mayberry takes 5 minutes and a bat.
Mike Hargrove.
Mike Hargrove. Oh, sawed the bat off.
That bat may have had a hairline fracture in it. That bat had a hamstring pull along with the broken handle. Man, talk about chewing up some firewood. That thing, hurt it getting in the kitchen.
Tony Perez might not hear it now, but he'll hear it after the game.
Yeah. That's a kitchen shot right there. That thing got all the way in the pantry. Where they keep the canned goods. Man.
1-2 on Tony Perez. 2 outs. And he puts the ball in play. A nasty pitch. Nice play. Ray Knight. 5-3, and that'll do it. for the Reds here in the 6th. Good play by Ray Knight. And for the Reds here in the 6th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 man left on base. At the end of 5 1/2, it's 1-0 Reds.
Where do smart players go? Players Club International. The experts who will show you how to have fun the smart way. Las Vegas, Atlantic City, the Caribbean. Players Club members are guaranteed to always save up to 60% on rooms, food and drinks, and even shows. Or maybe you just want to relax and play the course. Players members receive up to 50% savings at over 1,000 golf courses. And you can even use your card for airlines, car rentals, and cruises. Or for that smart getaway, save up to 50% off at over 8,000 hotels worldwide. Any way you want to play, the experts at Players Club can take care of you today. 1-800-964-4646. Call now for free information with absolutely no cost, no obligation on how you can play the smart way. Plus, new members receive a free Players Preferred package with over $150 in free money and comps. So call today.
1-0, the Reds on top of the Mets. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. And for the Mets, it'll be Tim Tuffle, Bobby Ojeda, and Lenny Dykstra. Mentioned a moment ago, big crowd on hand here at Shea Stadium. First game of a 3-game set. A lot of excitement out here at Shea. And Tim Tuffle, who's 0 for 1, fly to center field his first time up as the batter. Mets trailing the Reds 1-0. Mets with an 18-4 record. Mario Soto. And the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball right there. 0-1.
Davey Johnson has Randy Neiman and Terry Leach warming up in the bullpen, so conceivably there could be a pinch hitter for Bobby Ojeda if Tuffle doesn't get on. If he gets on, they'll let Ojeda bunt him over.
And the 0-1 pitch. Fastball that paints the black outside. 0-2.
Uncharacteristic game for Soto. He's had a lot of fly ball outs. Matter of fact, all of the contact outs that have been made have been fly ball outs with the exception of 3 ground balls.
Just missed outside, 1 and 2.
But he struck out only 1.
He's usually a good strikeout pitcher.
He struck out more than any other pitcher in the major leagues over the last 5 years.
And Tuffle hits the ball off the end of the bat. Foul ball. We saw John Denny last week in Cincinnati, a bit upset. Yesterday, he was hit pretty hard by the Atlanta Braves.
Mario Soto has struck out 1,066 coming into this year over the last 5 years, more than any other pitcher in the big leagues. So this is certainly a highly uncharacteristic performance, even though it's been a successful one so far.
A pitcher's duel here at Shea Stadium between Soto and Ojeda. Just missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Bottom of the 6th inning. Up high, 3-2. So the fans here at Shea Stadium coming to life. As you mentioned, Tim, a pitcher's duel will keep them subdued. Full count. Fouled off.
It might have been ball 4, but Tim Tuffle going by that adage that if it's close enough to call for a strike, it's close enough to swing at.
Yeah, you don't want to give Harry Wendelstedt a shot at calling you out.
Nah, you don't want anybody ringing you up just standing there. You're going to go down hacking.
Just got to look at Bobby Ojeda with a bat in his hand. Full count on Tim Tuffle. base hit into left field. So Tuffle, the leadoff batter here in the 6th inning, hitting a rope, an outside fastball, and raked it to left field.
Yeah, well, when you see a lot of pitches, your chances go up to hit the ball squarely. That's what Tuffle did. He fouled off a couple of tough pitches, and a pitcher just can't continue to make the tough pitches. Now, as we said, Ojeda up there to bunt, and I would imagine Terry Leach and Randy Neiman will be sitting down.
So Bobby Ojeda, who grounded to second base his first time up, the batter. Tim Tuffle down on first base. As I mentioned before, the Mets with an 18-4 record. Going for 19, and Bobby Ojeda pops the ball up, and Tony Perez makes the catch. 1 out.
One doesn't have to analyze this bunt after that reaction by Bob Ojeda. No, I won't.
So Bobby Ojeda in the dugout, 1 out. Tim Tuffle still on first base, and Lenny Dykstra, one of the spark plugs on his ball club, is the batter. Dykstra in this ball game, 0 for 2, fly to center field, and grounded to shortstop. When he's around, things happen.
Soto asking Concepcion who's going to cover. They've had for a two-hitter, Mario Soto's really had a lot of problems getting together with his pitcher, catcher, or with his catcher, shortstop, and second baseman.
And it's so important to know who's going to cover. When the ball's hit back to him, he really has to take that crow hop and know who he's throwing the ball to.
Well, it's standard right now, left-handed hitter covering. Concepcion's going to be over there. It's easier for the shortstop to make the play to begin with. Concepcion's got to be covered.
1 out.
Nope, you got it. He said Oster's got it. You saw the open mouth, so he's saying Oster covered, which means it's probably a fastball away. If it's a fastball away, Dykstra's more apt to hit the ball the other way. We'll see. See, Concepcion gets the sign. Looks like he's opening the mouth. Fastball away, outside.
1 ball and no strikes. Now Concepcion is yelling into Mario Soto.
It's like a United Nations debate out there. What's going on?
And it's so
they act like they're losing 8-2.
I know it. Or fighting for a very tough victory.
Well, they are, the way they've been playing and the way the Mets have been playing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's so important for Concepcion and the second baseman to know the signs that the catcher and pitcher are using.
That means you got it. Oster's covered.
On the outside part of the plate with the fastball, 1-1.
Whenever the one giving the signs, and in this case, Concepcion, of course, with the left-handed hitter up there, he can see in to see the signs better than Oster. I'm just surprised that Oster's covered at all, really.
And, of course, the veteran Davey Concepcion, I'm sure the leader on the field. Look at him looking for those signs.
You got it. That means Oster's covering.
And they check Tuffle at first base.
If they do send Tuffle and Dykstra pulls the ball, then Oster will be the guy to cover. That's why the shortstop puts a glove up to his face when he doesn't want anybody knowing that except the second baseman.
Of course, the shortstop has to be careful on where he moves also, not to tip the pitch to the hitter.
Oster looks like he's bored. I mean, what's going on? I mean,
let's see if he checks out. Maybe he's not talking to him. There it is. He'll look at him.
You got it. That means Oster's covering.
And Lenny Dykstra, thinking about bunting, pulls the bat back. 2-1. So we got Davey Concepcion taking signs from the catcher, relaying signs to the second baseman. Everybody's trying to adjust, and we'll see what happens. Tim Tuffle on first base. Bottom of the 6th inning, 1-0. The Reds on top of the Mets.
Open mouth. Oster's covering.
Inside fastball. 3-1.
You go on the theory that open mouth means you got it. And again, if the closed mouth is given, then me. I got it.
Now they're going to have a discussion.
I'll tell you. As I said, this is a 1-0. The Mets have only had 2 base runners. Thank goodness. We'll be here till tomorrow. Can't be this tough. Davey looks like he's upset with Mario. Mario's grimaced at Diaz. Diaz is yelling at Soto, and Oster's bored.
And the problem is, Mario, Soto, Bo Diaz, and Davey Concepcion don't speak the same language.
Yeah, I'd be bored too if everybody was yelling at it there. Oster's got it.
And way inside, ball 4.
And after all of that, a walk. And that, now this may sound strange, but that might be the reason he lost his concentration. He's worried about too many things.
Right.
He's worried about the shortstop covering. Concepcion's been out there a couple of times. Diaz a couple of times. Got too many things on your mind.
Got to worry about the target, worry about getting the sign and get the target and throw a strike. So we got to, now Davey Concepcion's going to come in and join the meeting again.
There's got to be some time where you reach an agreement with everybody and say, all right, guys, let's just go back to playing hardball.
That's right.
Let's go back to square one. Throw the ball over the plate. Let's get going. You think long, you think wrong. Davey's still talking to Mario.
And you can make the game too complex.
Yes, sir. You can. Let's go. Put down the signs and give him a little old hum baby.
That's right.
Hum baby. Shoe rock 5.
Oh, bacon and eggs.
America. Yeah, that's right. Can't hit what you can't see, actually. Oh, hum baby.
Hard ball.
Yeah.
And 1 out. Howard Johnson, the batter. Now we got Bo Diaz grabbing at the ball. Bo Diaz is usually the most relaxed guy in the world catching. He's grabbing at the ball. Pete Rose is saying, what's happening? There's Bo Diaz. 1-0. You don't want to fall too far behind this guy because he can take that ball over the wall, that fastball. It's now 1-1.
Howard had a pitch to hit right then and just fouled it back. You'd like to see that again, but I'm catching. He didn't get that pitch again. Not on this count.
That's right.
Keith Hernandez on deck.
With all that confusion, you forget you got Hernandez following Howard Johnson.
Right.
Got Strawberry Carter. You're going to the meat of the order. 1-1 on Ojeda. Ooh, there's that fastball. He rips it down the right field line. The Mets will tie the score. Tuffle scores. And Dykstra's held on at third base. Bo Diaz, man, nice stop right there, keeping that ball from getting away. And Howard Johnson turns the fastball around. He's on second base. Dykstra's on third. The ball game's tied at 1.
Even though Howard Johnson batted less than .250 last year, I don't think anybody got any more bigger hits than Howard did. He got a ton of big hits, especially in August, first part of September for the Mets. And this is a big hit right here.
Well, Mario Soto not happy with that base hit. They're going to walk Keith Hernandez and go after Darryl Strawberry.
I question this strategy.
Yeah, especially after his last exhibition in Cincinnati when Strawberry hit the 2 home runs.
Yeah.
Plus, he can do it again. Oh, boy. And with all that power, but Mr. Rose has been so successful in the past. He has to make a decision. He's going to go with the power hitter. Keith Hernandez, of course, tends to put the ball in play. Ball 4.
It's not, there are some decisions that are made in baseball that are not really clear-cut. This is kind of one of them.
That's right.
You don't want to face Hernandez, but certainly Pete realizes you kind of caught between a rock and a hard place.
You know, Tim, I think I would lean towards going after a guy that I can possibly strike out more so than the guy that can put that ball in play.
So you're saying to walk Hernandez is the right play, right?
Yeah, really.
Mario Soto struck out Strawberry 3 times his first game. However, since then, he's 9 for 23 with 5 home runs.
And 0 for 2 in this game and swings the fastball.
Okay.
0-1. Of course, if he gets Strawberry out, it's a great move. And if Darryl hits the ball over that scoreboard, it was the wrong move.
Well, you got to go with the percentages.
That's right.
I think what you say has a lot of worth. I really do.
Down down low, 1-1. As I mentioned, Hernandez puts the ball in play a lot more. Well, not a lot more, but more consistently than Darrell. But this kid right here can hit the ball right out of Flushing. It's all tied at 1. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2.
Powder River 3 straight times. Fastball, fastball, fastball. And Soto looks like when he grabbed that ball back from Diaz, he looked like he wanted to throw another one.
And walking Hernandez might have upset Darrell, maybe make him a little anxious. And Darrell Strawberry, it's a high fly ball left field. Mets will pick up a run. Dykstra tags. Jones makes the catch. Dykstra scores easily, and the Mets are on top, 2-1. Sacrifice fly by Darrell Strawberry.
Darrell just misses this one, gets under it a little bit, and it was a fastball. 4 fastballs in a row by Soto. This is a good ball game right here.
It really is.
See that little recoil, that right knee coming back, a tremendously powerful swing. And a tremendously powerful pitcher, Mario Soto.
And a competitor. Sacrifice fly for Strawberry. Gary Carter to batter. Ground ball is short. Scored 6-4 on the force play. And that'll do it for the Mets here in the bottom of the 6th. But not before they go ahead as they pick up 2 runs. They leave 2 runners stranded. At the end of 6, we got an exciting ball game. Mets 2, Reds 1.
Of high credit card rates? You know, the average American pays about 17%. But you're not average. You deserve better. You pay all your bills on time. You deserve to pay less. Now that's more like it. A 7.9% Visa card from a bank you know. Chase Manhattan. Call 1-800-918-8300 to apply for the card that's going to save you money. You can transfer your high-interest balances, and you don't pay an annual fee. So come on, call and apply for a Chase Visa with a fixed 7.9% rate until June 1997. Because credit like yours deserves an interest rate like ours. The 7.9% Chase Visa. Anything more is just too much. 1-800-918-8300.
Soto still on the mound for the Reds. He has pitched a very good ball game, but the Mets got to him for 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th to overcome a 1-0 deficit, and they lead 2-1. And Ralph, walking around the city since we've returned from that road trip, a lot of Mets fans throughout the city, that the one question they ask me is, will they keep it up? My reply is no. They won't keep up the way they've been playing because nobody can win 18 out of every 22 games they've been playing, right?
Well, the best record in the history of the game of Major League Baseball, 116 victories by the Chicago Cubs. And the Mets currently on a pace that would take them way over that. No, you can't do it.
No, you just, but they have been playing so well. Good, fundamental, sound baseball. Getting outstanding pitching. And putting together all parts of their game. They lead in this one 2-1. Danny Heap, who is 1 for 2, is the batter, and a slider for a strike.
Well, the Mets bench has certainly done a job so far this year, and this is one of the fellows right here, Danny Heap. He's hitting all 7 games that he has started.
Has 8 RBIs in those 7 games, and he rips a slider. Good play by Perez over to Soto on a good play. So a good play on both ends, 1 out.
Well, this ball hit hard. Perez at first base comes off to make the play. Takes the throw a little bit high to Soto, who has to go up and make the catch, and Soto does do a good job coming down that ball. Perez had a lot more time than he really took.
Soto, a marvelous athlete. Ray Knight 0 for 2. Played a fine third base as usual. Both teams have played errorless ball tonight. And a slider is outside, 1-0 to Ray Knight. Ray with 6 home runs, 17 RBIs. Entered the game batting .338, third in the National League. How about that Hubie Brooks with Montreal, a double, triple, and home run today as the Expos beat the Dodgers 8-4.
Beat a good pitcher.
One of the best. Fernando Valenzuela took his second loss. Jeff Reardon the winner in that game. John Franco up and throwing. Brooklyn born and bred. John Franco.
Lafayette High School.
Yeah.
Fred Wilpon, the star pitcher of the Lafayette High School baseball team. Sandy Koufax couldn't even make the squad.
Sandy was the first baseman. Fred was the pitcher, right?
That's right.
That changed in a hurry once they graduated. 3-0 pitch. Knight takes a strike. Sandy went and spent 1 year at the University of Cincinnati, I believe, and signed by Al Campanis after that season.
He went to the University of Cincinnati on a basketball scholarship. And the only reason why I went to pitching, he wanted to take a trip to New Orleans where the baseball team was playing.
3-2 to Ray Knight.
Well, here's the pitch right here. Soto coming with a slider, and Knight thought it was ball 4. Home plate umpire Harry Wundelstadt said no, it broke down in the strike zone.
Another slider grounded towards short. So Soto has come out this inning. He got Heap on a slider, and he got Ray Knight on a slider after throwing that 3-1 slider. So he's going to the breaking ball a little bit more often this inning. And Tim Tuffle, the batter. Tim 1 for 2 and scored the first run in the 6th for the Mets. To Tim Tuffle.
Tuffle started the rally in the 6th inning. He had a good at bat, fouled off some real tough pitches on sliders, and got a fastball on a 3-2 count and got a base hit.
Another slider. So Soto not only retires the Mets 1-2-3 here in the 7th, but all on sliders. But he trails 2-1 after 7. We'll be back.
Celebrate 25 years of pride, tradition, and great hockey action. For tickets, call 1-800-882-ISLE.
Well, top of the 8th inning, and it's going to be a pinch hitter for the Cincinnati Reds. Kurt Stillwell be the pinch hitter. Batting right-handed against Ojeda. Kurt, of course, fine young shortstop from the Los Angeles area, Thousand Oaks, California.
And it's his first pinch hitting appearance this year for the Cincinnati Reds.
Mario Soto worked 7 innings, gave up 2 runs and only 3 hits. Uncharacteristically, he walked 2 and struck out only 1. So a fine job by Mario Soto. And the fastball is high to Kurt Stillwell. New York on top. And it's 2-0 to Kurt Stillwell. John Franco will be the pitcher in the bottom of the 8th for the Reds. There's a strike, 2-1. out 9 and walked 1. Another brilliant performance by Bobby Ojeda. He's 4-0 entering the game. 3-1 to Stillwell. Take here?
I'd have to have him take him right here.
Going to get the same pitch 3-2 that you got 3-1, but he's hacking. So it's 3-2. Just didn't get there predictably.
That's one of the things that has really changed in baseball. They don't take as many pitches when they're in situations where they can get the time run on base.
Had a good cut at this one, fouls it back. Roger McDowell warms for the Mets. Fastball got him. The 10th strikeout for Bobby Ojeda, and there's one away.
Well, this ties his season's high, and it's his most in the strikeout department in the National League as he picks up number 10, and Stillwell taking the wrong pitch. Should have took the 3-1 pitch.
3-1 pitch could have been a little high, too. He did foul it away, but Ojeda finishes it. And Tracy Jones, who's 0 for 3, takes a curveball that's high, 1-0. Mets lead 2-1. We're in the 8th. Changeup is fouled back.
Here's the pitching line on Ojeda. 7 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 run that was earned, and he has struck out 10, Milwaukee 1.
Cincinnati Reds are reading that while weeping. They trail 2-1. Changeup and a beauty.
He doesn't throw that as a screwball. He throws it really as sort of a semi-split-fingered fastball, but it sure has good action on it, like a screwball. There you see Jones is totally fooled by the pitch.
Another one cued down the right field line. A lot of funny swings. A lot of times if you're at the ballpark and you see major league hitters taking funny swings like that, there's a reason for it, isn't it?
Really throwing off balance. Hitting is a matter of balance, and they're really out in front of that change-up pitch.
Ground ball up the middle. Johnson over to Hernandez. 2 outs.
They set him up perfectly for the fastball. He had that changeup out there twice, and he's sort of semi-looking for it, and the fastball entered his hands, and he doesn't hit it well. Masterful job of pitching.
One of the things I noticed about Gary Carter a lot early in his career, he would have a tendency to call for the pitch that he couldn't hit. And that was the breaking ball. Gary could always hit the curveball, but over the years, you start blending in. Gary, a very intelligent guy, and you start blending in and not only going as to what you can't hit, but what the majority of the hitters can't hit. And that's when you become a real good catcher calling a game, and Carter is that right now. 0-1 to Concepcion. Ground ball, and it's a base hit. So Concepcion singles his 3rd hit of the night, and he's a threat to run.
All right, here, Knight guarding the line against the extra base hit, so the ball hit in the hole, and a lot more room to hit the ball through because of that, and it's a base hit to left field. Comes with 2 men out. And it is a single for Concepcion. The veteran able to handle Ojeda tonight as he is 3 for 4.
Ralph, I think guarding the line with 2 out is not nearly as bad as guarding the line with nobody out.
I think you have to guard the line with 2 out. You don't want the 2 base hit.
Yeah, we're a pop, but with nobody out, it's a different story. That's how big innings start. And Parker swings and foul tips a breaking ball, 0-1. Thing about a lot of teams, though, they'll just guard the line just because they've done it for years without any idea of who's pitching, who's hitting. And that, in my mind, is just flat wrong.
Well, their Little League coach saw it on television one time and said that's the way you do it.
Yeah. Ball well hit to center field. Dykstra over in right center. Jumps and he makes the catch. A brilliant catch by Len Dykstra.
Parker can't believe it. He did a dance out there when that ball was caught that told the whole story.
Oh, baby. Man.
Well, here it is on the replay. This is a brilliant catch. Parker takes that outside curveball and drives it against the fence. Dykstra with the sleeping grab has it. One of the great catches so far in this year. And it saved the tying run. That ball looked like it was out of the ballpark.
It certainly could have been. It could have hit the top of the fence. Len Dykstra robbing Parker of what certainly would have been extra bases. Still 2-1 Mets, bottom of the 8th. Man.
From the people who brought you one clever idea after another comes the Plymouth Voyager Plus sale. Right now, you can get a Plymouth Voyager Plus, this great limited time lease offer for only $249 a month and 0 down. You get air conditioning, 7-passenger seating, and more for $249 a month and no money down. During the Plymouth Voyager Plus sale, another clever way to save. And it's only at your Plymouth dealer.
Well, if you missed it, you missed a beautiful catch by Len Dykstra in the 8th inning. Woo!
There it is on the replay. Dykstra back to the fence. Parker hit this ball. He goes up in the air, and he takes a possible home run away. And Parker now walking back to his position in right field. It could have been a 2-run home run. It could have put Soto on top of the ball game. He goes out of the game on the losing side. And if you wonder what this game is all about, it's a game of inches.
And it's also all about the likes of Mookie Wilson, who's pinch hitting for Bobby Ojeda. Mookie Wilson in his first at-bat in 1986. Here are his numbers for the 85 season. He fouls it away, 1-1. Big hand from Mookie Wilson.
John Franco, the new pitcher in the ball game. This is his 14th game. He has a record of no wins, no losses, an earned run average of 2.25, and he has picked up 3 saves. He's worked 20 innings. He has given up 17 hits while striking out 13 and walking 8. Brooklyn-born John Franco.
1-1 to Wilson. And the fastball for a strike. It looked like it crossed up Bo Diaz, but it's 1-2 to Mookie Wilson. Mookie stayed down in Florida when the Mets broke for the North. And then he went on the 20-day rehabilitation program down in Tidewater. Batted .258 at Tidewater, 8 for 31. A high chopper. Mookie can run. Out at first. Good play by Ron Oster.
Mookie gets a standing ovation for his first at-bat. And, of course, Mookie with the dilemma of having Len Dykstra playing in front of him, and Dykstra with a sensational start. Here's the catch again that Len pulled off on Dave Parker. Certainly would have tied the ball game. If it's out of the park, it puts the Reds in front.
Ralph, you called it right. That ball very well could have been out of the ballpark. Certainly, Concepcion scores easily with 2 out. Parker would have been at least a second, and we think it could have been certainly 50-50 chance of being out of here. 1-0 to Dykstra. Tap back to Franco, who retires Len easily, and the batter Howard Johnson.
It was a great play by Ray Knight that saved the ball game for the Mets the last game they played 2 days ago, and now this play right here might have done it.
Against the Astros had runners at first and second and 2 out in the 9th. The Mets up by a run, and Ray Knight dove to his right as Howard Johnson takes a fastball in the dirt. on a ball hit by Phil Garner. And Jesse Orozco got Glenn Davis on a fly to right to end the ball game. That was Wednesday night. Tonight, another brilliant defensive maneuver by Lynn Dykstra. One to Johnson. Johnson had a key RBI double in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. Roger McDowell will be the pitcher in the ninth. Two and one.
Last year won 11 games in a row in relief.
Thought that should have been a strike, but it's 3 and 1. He was 12 and 3 at 2.18 last year. A couple of center fielders talking things over. 3 and 2 to Johnson.
Johnson's key base hit in the 6th inning was hit from the left-hand side of the plate. And there's Bob Ojeda sitting on the winning side of this game right now. He pitched an outstanding game.
He's staying out on the bench trying to pull Roger McDowell through as Johnson goes down on strikes. So Franco retires the Mets in the 8th. And after 8, 2-1, New York.
On August 13th, the baseball world was silenced. But the cheers for a legend will live on forever. Announcing the Mickey Mantle 40th Anniversary Commemorative Baseball. Mick's replica signature is right in the sweet spot. His electrifying switch-hitting image is emblazoned on the side, along with his heroic 1956 Triple Crown stats. And every single autographed ball is a genuine hand-stitched recreation. You've seen Mickey Mantle baseballs for as much as $279, but not today. You get the Mickey Mantle Signature Baseball, this display globe with Mick's brass nameplate, an individually numbered certificate of authenticity, and archive registration card, this bonus action photo card, and baseball encyclopedia detailing Mick's amazing career. But you won't pay $279 or even $79. You get it all for only $19.95. So call now.
With your credit card, call 1-800-514-2185 to order your Mickey Mantle baseball for just $19.95 plus shipping and handling, or send check or money order to this address. That's 1-800-514-2185.
Well, a discussion up in the press box here as to whether this ball would have been out or not.
And the angle here can't quite show you whether his glove was back against the fence or not. It appeared it might not have been. He's got his hand against the fence, and the catch is made. It might have hit the top of the fence, and of course it could have bounced out. It might have gone over. But any way you look at it, it's one great catch.
It really was. He slammed into that wall, too, after he caught the ball, but held on to it. Roger McDowell in there trying to preserve the victory for Bobby Ojeda.
Roger, with a record of 2-0, he has 2 saves. This is his 13th appearance. He has an earned run average of 4.26. He's worked 19 innings, given up 18 hits. He struck out 17 and walked 6.
Outfield deep and straight away. Tony Perez, the batter. Fastball for a strike, 0-1. McDowell picked up a save on the 4th of May, which was Sunday when he retired 7 in a row against the Reds. 1-1 to Tony Perez.
That's the first ball he's thrown in his last 2 outings. The last time he was in, he did not throw a pitch out of the strike zone.
Threw 16 straight strikes, so 17 out of his last 18. That sounds like music to the Mets' ears, right? Tap back to McDowell. High throw, but Hernandez holds on. So there's one away, and the batter, Buddy Bell. Said 17 out of 18 strikes because that's kind of the Mets'